All right, I am ready to spin this wheel. Just so you know, I'm doing this in the same session where I reviewed Godstrike, and God, I hated that game. So let's find something good to play, something retro, something probably Atari or NES. Let's find out. Ooh, Genesis Road Rash. Here we go. Let's go. All right. Let's do this, people. All right, everybody, let's get ready for a game that's actually going to be good. Unlike that Godstrike. Ugh. Anyway, Road Rash. I have many fond memories of this game. This is, without question, the best motorcycle game of the 16-bit era. Hands down, no questions, like, cannot be debated. Open and shut case, best motorcycle game of the 16-bit era. Now, granted, motorcycle racers are a little bit of a niche thing. There's not always a ton of competition. But let me tell you why you love this game, even if you've never played it. Because Road Rash is not just your average motorcycle game. It is motorcycle combat racing. So here's the deal. You get a whole bunch of courses that you can play through. If you do well on those courses on the stock motorcycle that you start out with, you start earning money. You can use that money to upgrade your bike. Eventually, you get that Diablo, which is, you know, a lot of money. And honestly, the best suggestion that I can make is get good, win races, save up for the Diablo. That's just how I've played this game since the beginning, because I vividly remember the first time I played this game. We played it back when I was a Boy Scout. We had this scout leader who I don't know how he became a scout leader. He was not very much into the camping and hiking aspect. And so anytime that he could just have us over at his house for like a hangout, barbecue, whatever type session, that was his jam. Like, he was all about just chilling. And not in a weird way. I know that, like, looking back now, you're like, I don't know, some of those guys at Boy Scouts. All my Boy Scout experiences were nothing but positive. I had amazing leaders, including the guy who introduced all of us to this game, because he had a Sega Genesis back when nobody had a Sega Genesis. Everybody else was still 8-bit era playing that NES, and he bought a Sega Genesis, and our minds exploded. We were like, 16-bit graphics, oh my god. We could not believe how incredibly lifelike this game looked. And it's hilarious now because you look at it and you're like, it's not that lifelike. But like, if you lived through the time, that was the magic of it. I mean, kids these days be looking at these things being like, oh, it's so retro. Yeah, it's super retro, but like at the time we were like, cutting edge, the most amazing thing we've ever seen. So like, this was the first 16-bit game I ever saw. And here's what's amazing about it is that, like, it's not just racing motorcycles. That would be enough, because like this motorcycle racing game is excellent. You know, you all of the different racers have different racing styles. Like, the AI is really, really good for a game of this era. And you'll even see the characters talking to you in between rounds, giving you tips, giving you pointers, giving you like information about themselves so that you can anticipate what it's like to come up against them. Because here's the fun thing. Some of them have clubs and whatnot. Like, some of them have weapons. And in the later Road Rash games, those weapons only increase. Actually, here's the funny thing. I've not played it yet. But as a result of playing this game, I went out and bought on Kingwin. Right now, you can buy Road Redemption, which is the spiritual successor to Road Rash on the PC in the modern era with like decent 3D graphics that look reasonably recent. And that game, you can full on shoot people and whatnot. Like just shoot them off of their motorcycle. In this game, like, it's funny because you can punch people from the start. You have to time those punches out well, and if you're looking at the gameplay footage, which you should be, you will notice that I try to punch everybody. I only successfully punch a couple of people. So yeah, timing is key on those. But here's the other fun thing, is that those people who have clubs, if you time it right, if you punch when they club, you can grab their club and then you can start beating people with the club. And then you'll have the club for the rest of your time, unless somebody grabs it back from you, which is a possibility. So yeah, like it adds a fun wrinkle to the concept of motorcycle racing. And so, you know, we, a whole bunch of like tenderfoot Boy Scouts, like we were young. It was early in my scouting career. You know, we might not have been tenderfoots, because it's not tender feet, if you know, it's tenderfoots. There's a bunch of tenderfoots. Anyway, yeah, we were not very high in the ranks of scouting yet. But, you know, we went over to our leader's house, we were playing this game, and we were taking turns, and everybody was trying to win a race to get money so that we could, like, we were all collectively saving up for that Diablo. And that's why, to this day, like, I will stay on the stock bike in every race the entire time until I can get that Diablo. Now, I have played this game recently with the Diablo with cheats on so that I could get the Diablo from the start. It's a lot of motorcycle. That's the funny thing about this, is that those different bikes really do handle differently. And the Diablo, like, you had better get a handle on your stock starting bike before you hop on that Diablo, because yes, like, it handles better, but what that means is you gotta finesse it. You gotta handle it smoothly, softly, like little teeny tiny taps of the buttons rather than like hard presses, because otherwise you're gonna be slipping and sliding all over the road. You're gonna end up running into street signs and cars and cows and all the other hazards of the road. And there are many, like trees and signs and cows and cars, and dudes trying to punch you and dudes trying to hit you with a club, and you can also get edged out by other motorcycles and whatnot, and just straight up bumped off. Also, there are cops that you have to be running away from in the gameplay footage. I was doing pretty well on a level, and then I got pulled over by the popo. It happens. It happens. So, like, there's a lot to this game comparatively with you look at other racing games of the era. And so that is why, to this day, this game is seared into my memory. It is a special place in my heart. I'm so glad when I spun that wheel that I got Road Rash, because this game is fire. This game is excellent. If you've never played Road Rash, you owe it to yourself to play these games. They are so much fun. So fun. If you love retro gaming at all, like, and haven't played this game, it's time. It is time for you to play this game. Like, play it in emulation. Go track down a copy. They are not that expensive. Go find one and pop it in your Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on where you're from, and play this game. It is excellent. I cannot recommend it highly enough. So many unlockables and wrinkles and interesting aspects of the game. The level design is incredible. The other players' AI is the best that you will find of this generation, hands down. Quite possibly the best racing game of the 16-bit era. And I know that that is quite a statement, but you know what? There are people who would 100% back me up on that, because this game is it. Let me put a final score on it. You're not going to be surprised. Hold up. Okay, I am going a 9 out of a possible 10 Kawasaki Ninjas. Why Kawasaki Ninjas? Well, because that's the motorcycle. That was the first, like, really awesome street legal racing bike that anybody could get. And so everybody wanted one for a while. That was the bike that everybody wanted. And yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of a 10. Only because I feel like Road Rash 2 improved upon this formula with more weapons, more crazy levels, better AI even, you know, more hazards, more of everything. Like Road Rash 2 is just like Road Rash 1, but more everything. It was like, oh, you like nachos? Well, how about Nacho Supreme? Like, that's what it did. And so, yeah, that's the only reason I am reserving one Kawasaki Ninja, is because there's an even better entry in the Road Rash series. Also, by the way, like, I haven't played Road Redemption yet, but I picked it up last night for $1.99. Here's the funny thing about that game. Let me just tell you real quick. It has not been on sale in over 2 years. And so I think the developer is just leaving it on Steam and is like, if you want to buy it, it's $20, you know. And so you can get a key for it on Kinguin or your other key purchasing sites. There are others out there that I know people use, because y'all give me Steam keys from time to time, and that's totally fine. It's all good. But yeah, and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate all the support everybody gives this channel. I appreciate people giving me Steam keys when they got them, and I try and pass some of those along. Some of those I keep for myself because it helps me fulfill my dream of being a YouTuber who gets some free video games. And so thank you for that. Like, I really, really appreciate it. But anyway, like, yeah, you can pick up Road Redemption for like $1.99 on Kinguin, and probably around the same price on your other key purchasing websites. So that's out there. You can get that. You can enjoy that. That'll be fun. Anyway, and I'll be reviewing Road Redemption before too long anyway. And Road Rash, yeah, if you have not played it, it is time. It is definitely time. Anyway, people, hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.